13 albums, all recorded before hip-hop had a rule book. Run-D.M.C, LLCoolJ, Public Enemy, Grandmaster Flash.
And I had to learn the hard way, stay in a microwave too long you get burned, but the boom thing.
But here's what nobody told you.
She started winking and making little passes at me. She grabbed me close and that's when she got bold.
The stories behind these records are wilder than the music itself. Label executives who refused to release them. Radio stations that would not play them. And one album that changes what music is legally allowed to say. And almost does not get made at all. 13 forgotten albums. None of them finished with you yet. Number 13, DougEFresh and the Get Fresh Crew, Oh My God, 1986. Brooklyn, New York, 1986. Douglas Davis, DougEFresh, does not need an instrument. He is the instrument, the beatbox, the human rhythm machine.
6 minutes, DougEFresh, you're on.
The performer who turns his own mouth into a drum kit.
Try to repeat what I say, all right? So we're gonna have some fun. Somebody say, oh my!
And builds a live show around the impossibility of what he is doing. Oh My God arrives on Reality Records and showcases the Get Fresh crew. Slick Rick, Barry B, and Chill Will, alongside DougEFresh's extraordinary vocal percussion. Here is the thing. DougEFresh is performing beatbox routines at live shows in Harlem years before this record exists. He builds a reputation in rooms rather than on radio. The album arrives as a document of something the culture has already decided is important. Here is what is wild about this. Slick Rick's debut verse on La Di Da Di, recorded with DougEFresh as a B-side the previous year, is already being called one of the most naturally gifted storytelling performances in hip-hop history.
We're gonna need everybody help, and we want y'all to clap your hands.
The partnership between DougEFresh and Slick Rick is one of the most creatively fertile in the genre's first decade. It produces two of the most replicated tracks in hip-hop history from a single recording session. But here is the gut punch. That partnership does not last. Slick Rick signs to Def Jam as a solo artist. What they might have built together across an entire career remains the genre's most compelling what-if. The next entry on this list almost does not get built at all. Number 12, Fat Boys, 1984.
Ready for this, we give it out, no slacks, you guessed it, the Fat Boys are back!
Brooklyn, New York, 1984. Darren Robinson, Damon Wembley, and Mark Morales.
So cutting up 'cause he's in command. So cut it up.
The Fat Boys released their debut on Sutra Records. And here's the thing.
I'll start to move it, I will not stop, 'cause I'm all the way live with so much juice.
The Fat Boys arrive with a performance style that the industry immediately tries to categorize as novelty. The beatboxing, the comedic delivery, the size. Every element that makes them immediately distinguishable is treated by label executives as a limitation rather than a strength. Here is what is wild about this. The Fat Boys are one of the first hip-hop acts to achieve genuine mainstream commercial success. Not by compromising their identity, but by committing to it completely.
was Zessa, the chief of the East. And when I'm on the mic, I make an inch of hard hip.
Their debut sells over 1 million copies.
East Medina.
They signed to Polydor Records and release albums at a pace that most artists cannot sustain. By the mid-'80s, they are appearing in films and collaborating with rock artists in ways that prefigure the genre crossover experiments that define the early 90s. Darren Robinson, the human beatbox, passes away in 1995. He is 28 years old, and here is the gut punch. The Fat Boys are dismissed as a party act by serious hip-hop heads for years. But the technical skill Robinson displays as a beatboxer is the same skill that DougEFresh builds his entire career on. The comedy is real. So is the craft. You cannot have one without the other.
I heard you in the place to be. Kowalski, as you can see.
The next entry never gets dismissed as anything other than exactly what it is, a statement. Number 11, UTFO. UTFO, 1985. Brooklyn, New York, 1985. Educated rapper, Kangle Kid, Dr. Ice, and Mixmaster Ice. UTFO released their self-titled debut on Select Records. The album arrives in the direct aftermath of Roxanne Roxanne. The group's 1984 single that generates one of the most remarkable answer record chains in hip-hop history. Here is what is wild about this. Roxanne Roxanne is a track about a woman who rejects the group's advances. Roxanne Shante, a 14-year-old from Queensbridge. Records an answer record in 30 minutes over the same beat. Then the real Roxanne responds. Then UTFO responds. The chain generates over 100 records in the Roxanne Wars. A cultural moment that demonstrates hip-hop's capacity for real-time cultural conversation before social media exists. Here is the thing. UTFO create one of the most generative controversies in the genre's first decade entirely by accident. They record a song about rejection. A teenager in Queensbridge hears it and decides she has something to say back. And in that exchange, the posse cut, the diss track, and the answer record. Three of hip-hop's most enduring formats are all demonstrated and developed simultaneously. Some records start conversations. Roxanne Roxanne starts a movement. And the next entry starts a different kind of movement entirely. If you are still here, you already know this channel is not built for algorithm highlights and 30-second clips. You are here for the real story. Here is what is wild. Most people watching right now will not subscribe. They will get the knowledge, and then Rewind Sonic disappears from their feed forever, which means when we drop the next video, they will never see it. Rewind Sonic is not for everybody, but if you are still here, it is definitely for you. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next chapter. Real recognize real. Back to the list. Number 10, Houdini Back in Black, 1986. Brooklyn, New York, 1986. Jaleel Hutchins and Ecstasy, Houdini.
atmosphere that you both still share when one's not.
Released Back in Black on Jive Records. The album arrives 2 years after their breakthrough Escape
That way still, but lately there's a change in y'all live. Though my friends play games.
and demonstrates a group that has figured out how to build on commercial success without diluting the creative identity that generates it. Here is the thing.
Now the love I used to have just left me cold. I used to buy everything from that.
Houdini are consistently undervalued in hip-hop history precisely
Wasn't thinking of when they said that money can't buy me love. When you say
because they operate in the space between rap and R&B at a moment when that space has no name.
all in all, I had a ball. I guess it's better to have loved and to have.
They make hip-hop records that are warm rather than aggressive, emotional rather than competitive. And the industry in 1986 does not have a commercial category for that.
Ready written, done and said, so you can stay 2 steps ahead.
Here is what is wild about this. The production approach on Back in Black, synthesizer-heavy, melodic, built for dance floors rather than ciphers.
I was known as a stone cold ladies man. If it wasn't for you, I'd be.
Prefigures the sound of hip-hop's commercial mainstream in the early 90s by approximately 5 years. The artists who dominate radio in 1991 and 1992
In the hand beats, two in the bush. I like to thank you, girl, for teaching me love because
are making music that sounds like what Houdini figures out in 1986.
who is fake, so you can learn from our mistake. Cause it was all.
They never receive that credit publicly. Some artists are ahead of their time, and the culture catches up.
To hear your name, it's the little things you do that mean so much. It's the kids you.
Some artists are ahead of their time, and the culture just takes what they build without acknowledging the source. The next entry refuses to be taken from without acknowledgement. Number 9. Kool Moe Dee, 1986.
Wanted to meet her, so I asked this lady, could I take her out? We could wine and dine.
New York, 1986. Mohandas Dewees, Kool Moe Dee.
The boomthang was dope, and you know that I rocked her. But 3 days later, go see.
Releases his self-titled solo debut on Jive Records.
Yelling and cussing, drip, drip, dripping, and puss, puss, pussin'. I went.
The album is a direct extension of his work with the Treacherous Three,
Dave calls her Mrs. Microwave, cause she was hotter than an oven.
one of the earliest rap groups to record commercially. And a statement of intent from an MC who has been performing longer than most of his contemporaries have been in the industry.
And the next time you see a cute hottie, you won't be able to screw.
Here's the gut punch. The cover of this album shows a Jeep running over a Kangol hat.
Before I push up, I'll make her go see the doctor.
That is a direct message to LLCoolJ, whose signature Kangol is one of the most recognizable images in hip-hop at that moment.
3 days later, woke up fussing.
Kool Moe Dee is not being subtle. He is opening a rivalry on record before the first track plays.
Shot. I looked at him like he was crazy, and I said, "What? Ain't nobody sticking."
Here's the thing. The Kool Moe Dee versus LLCoolJ battle is one of the most documented MC conflicts of the 80s. Produces some of the most technically demanding battle rap of the era.
It was dope, and you know that I rocked her. But 3 days later, go see the doctor.
Both artists pushing their craft to respond to each other across multiple records.
But don't blame me if it turns into a foot extended from the middle of your body.
But here's what is wild about this. Kool Moe Dee's debut solo album is largely forgotten in mainstream accounts of the decade,
And then talk about the birds and the bees in my water bed that you can treat.
while his rivalry with LLCoolJ is remembered.
The doctor.
The record that starts the war is more interesting than the war itself.
Until the bathroom and said, "Mamma mia, I'ma kill that girl next time I see."
And the next entry starts a different kind of war between a group and the entire music industry. Number 8, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Rock the House, 1987.
To me, I walked up to her, I said hello. She said, hey, you kinda cute. I said,
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1987.
She asked me, did I like her? I said, well, kinda. All of a sudden, she jumped out of seat.
Jeffrey Towns and Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Charged with aggravated assault. But it wasn't my fault.
Release Rock the House on Word Up Records. The album is playful, accessible,
Tyson fight. I was maxing and relaxing, sipping on tequila when this girl walked up. She said,
and built on a creative partnership between one of the most technically gifted DJs of the era
took the phone off the hook to avoid the annoying ring. I caressed her body and then I kissed her.
and an MC whose natural charisma makes every track feel like a conversation rather than a performance.
Often, but nevertheless, don't mean to bust your bubble. But girls of the world ain't nothing but.
Here is the thing. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince are the first hip-hop act to win a Grammy Award.
Until Betty's mom said, Betty's not ready yet. I sat there for at least.
Best rap performance in 1989 for Parents Just Don't Understand.
Just last week when I was walking down the street, I observed this lovely lady that I went
And here is what is wild about this. They boycott the ceremony.
right and left, but when the cops caught up, they almost beat me to death. I was arrested.
The Grammy organization in 1989 does not televise the rap categories.
Feeling up my back, I said, oh, your hands are cold. We went into her bedroom thinking of one thing.
It treats hip-hop as a second-class genre not worthy of broadcast alongside the other awards.
Got funky, fresh dressed, and Molly Cox for a teeth. Got the Betty's at 8. I was ready to.
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, along with Salt and Peppa, LLCoolJ, and others, refused to attend.
So next time a girl gives you the play, just remember my rhymes and get the hell away.
The boycott does not change the Grammy broadcast policy immediately,
My move, I thought I better hurry up before I busted the groove. I leaned down to kiss her, but
but the statement is made publicly and permanently. And here is the gut punch.
Betty, I said, hello, dear. I was just about to call you. I got a couple tickets to the run.
Will Smith goes on to become one of the highest-grossing film stars in Hollywood history.
Yes, I know, but by the way, sweetheart, what's your name? She said my friends like to call me.
DJ Jazzy Jeff goes on to be cited by producers, including Questlove,
Snatched me up by my wrist and took me out in the street. She started grabbing all over me, kissing.
as one of the most technically innovative DJs of his generation.
Nevertheless, don't mean to bust your bubble, but girls of the world ain't nothing but trouble.
Rock the House is where both careers begin, and it begins with a boycott. The next entry begins with a confrontation. Number 7, IceT Rhyme Pays, 1987.
A player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket when least the grand.
Los Angeles, California, 1987. Tracy Lauren Marrow,
See my homeboys cooling way out. Told them about my morning cold bug.
IceT, releases Rhyme Pays on Sire Records.
Serious tag. Bitch didn't know it, hit her, didn't have time to ask.
The album is the first West Coast rap record to carry a parental advisory sticker.
Going off like a high school bell. Looked in the mirror, what do we see?
That sticker is not a marketing tool. It is the result of pressure from the Parents Music Resource Center, Tipper Gore's organization, which targets explicit content in popular music throughout the mid-'80s. IceT earns his sticker honestly. Rhyme Pays documents Los Angeles street life with a specificity
Grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy 'cause free. And the streets too.
and an uncompromising honesty that radio programmers in 1987 do not know how to handle.
Was on Crenshaw. Shiny shine with the dropping, no nigga freaks hell. Had a beat
Here is what is wild about this. IceT is a former gang member from Crenshaw
rockin' dough. Bebop's a pimp, my old freak's a hoe. The battering rams rolling.
who has already been living the life he raps about before he steps into a studio.
Remotely controlled by hard hip-hop beats. But just living in the city is
The street credibility that hip-hop artists in later decades perform, IceT is documented.
made. Found a Uzi 44 and a hand grenade. Threw us in the county high.
Here is the gut punch. Law enforcement agencies in Los Angeles actively worked to suppress IceT's music during this period.
My heart. I didn't want trouble, but the shit had to start. Out with my crew.
His later record, Cop Killer, with his band Body Count, generates FBI pressure
Gold on my neck, my pistol's close at hand. I'm a self-made monster of the city street.
and eventually forces Warner Brothers to pull the album. But that confrontation with authority begins here.
Well, it's all punk pussy said we are one shit. As we walked over to a hoe, continued to
With a parental advisory sticker on a debut album in 1987.
interior. Solid gold, the ride was raw, bust the left turn.
Some artists perform rebellion. IceT reports it from inside.
Trouble, but the shit must fly. Squabble with the sucker, shanked him in the eye. But just
The next entry builds its own kind of confrontation from a completely different geography. Number 6, EPMD Strictly Business, 1989. Brentwood, New York, 1989. Eric Sermon and Parrish Smith,
The plan to make you wiggle and jiggle like gelatin. Just think while I sing.
EPMD, released Strictly Business on Fresh Records. And here's the thing. Fresh Records is a small independent label with limited distribution infrastructure. EPMD does not have a major label deal, a significant promotional budget, or mainstream radio support. What they have is a debut album built on Steve Miller Band samples delivered at a laid-back pace that sounds completely unlike any hip-hop record being made in New York in 1988. Strictly Business reaches number 80 on the Billboard 200 for an independent hip-hop album from Long Island. That is a commercial result achieved entirely through the quality of the music. Here is what is wild about this. Eric Sermon's production approach. Warm, bass-heavy, unhurried. Shapes the sonic identity of the hit squad. Redman's entire catalog, and a significant strand of East Coast hip-hop production across the 90s. But in 1989, most hip-hop listeners outside of Long Island do not know EPMD exists. The album builds its audience through DJ sets, tape trading, and the specific loyalty of listeners who feel like they have discovered something the mainstream has not caught up to yet. Here is the gut punch. EPMD splits in 1992 in a bitter financial dispute between Eric Sermon and Parrish Smith. They reunite later, but the version of EPMD that records Strictly Business. Two friends from Long Island building something nobody else is building exists for one brief window. And Strictly Business is the complete document of what that window contains. The next entry documents a window the industry tries to close permanently. The story behind number 3 involves a debut album that a label executive initially refuses to release because he genuinely does not believe a rap record without a live band can sell. He is overruled. The album changes the commercial architecture of the entire music industry. And the story behind number 1 is about a record that turns hip-hop from party music into national news overnight.
That I rocked her, but 3 days later, go see the doctor.
And puts a generation of radio programmers in the impossible position of either playing something they fear or burying something the culture needs. Number 5, De La Soul 3 Feet High and Rising, 1989. Amityville, New York, 1989. Kelvin Mercer, David Jude Jolie Kerr, and Vincent Mason. Posnuos, Trueboy the Dove, and Pacemaster Maze, released 3 Feet High and Rising on Tommy Boy Records. The album is revolutionary and immediately undeniable. Playful, eclectic. Sample heavy in a way that sounds less like borrowing and more like collage.
But if I do, I'll calmly punch them in the 4th day of July.
Like art assembled from everything the world has produced. Jazz, rock, funk, soul, game shows, cartoons.
One style, and my plug, one spectacle. You say plug 1 and 2 are hit.
All of it treated with equal seriousness and equal creativity. Here is what is wild about this.
Himself, not what you read, alright? Right is wrong when hype is written.
3 Feet High and Rising arrives at the end of the decade that builds hip-hop's commercial foundation.
Just keep on nuts with the nuts so I don't get an aftermath.
And it immediately rejects every aesthetic assumption that foundation is built on.
It's just me, myself, and I.
No aggression performed for credibility. No bravado. No standard issue New York boom bap. Just 3 young men from Long Island making the most unusual hip-hop album anyone has heard at that moment. Here's the gut punch. De La Soul spend decades unable to release their music on streaming services because of sample clearance issues from this album.
There's no need to lie. When it comes to being plugged, one is just
the same creative ambition that makes 3 Feet High and Rising groundbreaking. The density of samples, the breadth of source material. Creates a legal situation that locks their catalog away from an entire generation of potential listeners for over 30 years.
Black is black. Mirror, mirror on the wall, shovel chestnuts in my...
They finally reached streaming platforms in 2023.
It's just me, myself, and I.
Trugoy the Dove passes away the same year. He never fully gets to see his music reach the audience it deserves in the format his audience lives on.
But when it comes to being daylight, it's just me, myself, and I.
Some records outlive the moment. Some records outlive the people who make them. The next entry outlives everything. Releasio. Bum Rush the Show on Def Jam Records. The Bomb Squad's production is dense and confrontational from the first track. Chuck D's delivery is measured. Chuck D and the Bomb Squad developed the song. Rick Rubin is reportedly skeptical about the album's commercial potential before release. He does not understand the audience Public Enemy is building. That audience goes on to make It Takes a Nation one of the most influential albums in the history of recorded music. The next entry builds a different kind of influence, over a Long Island kid with a radio and a dream. Number 3, Run-D.M.C. Run-D.M.C, 1984. Hollis, Queens, New York, 1984. Joseph Simmons, Daryl McDaniels, and Jason Mizell, Run-D.M.C, and Jam Master Jay. Released their self-titled debut on Profile Records. The album reaches number 53 on the Billboard 200. For a rap record in 1984, that is a commercial result that nobody in the industry has seen before. Here is the thing. Run-D.M.C is the first rap album to go gold. The first to go platinum. The first to be nominated for a Grammy. The first to generate a music video in heavy rotation on MTV. Every commercial milestone hip-hop achieves in the 1980s has Run-D.M.C's fingerprints on it. Here is what is wild about this. The album is built on hard drums and no melodic samples. A stripped-back, aggressive aesthetic that sounds nothing like the funk and soul-influenced hip-hop records that precede it. Rick Rubin's production is revolutionary in its simplicity. He removes everything that does not serve the impact of the beat. And that minimalism, that commitment to the drum and the voice and nothing else, becomes one of the foundational production philosophies of the entire genre. Here is the gut punch. Jam Master J, Jason Mizell, is shot and killed in his recording studio in Jamaica, Queens in October 2002. The case remains unsolved for 20 years before federal charges are finally filed in 2022. The man who anchors one of the most commercially important groups in hip-hop history is taken violently in the same borough where he builds his legacy.
Check this out.
Next entry is built on a loss even older than that, and it changes what hip-hop is allowed to say forever. Number 2, LLCoolJ Radio, 1985. Hollis, Queens, New York, 1985. James Todd Smith, LLCoolJ, is 17 years old when Radio is released on Def Jam Records. And here's the gut punch. Def Jam co-founder Russell Simmons initially does not want to release it. He does not believe a rap record recorded without live instruments can find a mainstream audience. Rick Rubin overrules him. Radio is built on a drum machine and almost nothing else. Hard, minimal, uncompromising, and it reaches number 46 on the Billboard 200. Proving definitively that a rap record without a live band can not only sell, but can build a commercial infrastructure the genre will operate inside for the next decade. Here is what is wild about this. LLCoolJ is 17 years old. He has been sending demo tapes to Def Jam for 2 years, starting at 15. When Radio arrives, he is not performing the confidence on this record. He has built it through years of developing his craft in Queens before anyone gives him a platform. Here's the thing. Radio produces I Need a Beat, Rock the Bells, and I Can't Live Without My Radio. 3 tracks that function as standalone cultural moments rather than album filler. Each one demonstrates a different dimension of what LL is capable of at 17. The commercial architecture of Def Jam Records, one of the most important labels in the history of popular music, is built in significant part on the commercial proof of concept that radio provides. And the record at number 1 provides a different kind of proof, that hip-hop can carry the full weight of American reality without flinching. Number 1, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 The Message, 1982. New York City, 1982. Melvin Glover, Mel Mel, writes a verse about a man pushed to the edge by poverty, violence, and the specific psychological weight of surviving in a city that has stopped pretending it cares whether you survive. The verse is the message. The line is "Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge.
They ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Got a bum education.
And the world that verse describes, the broken glass, the junkies, the bill collectors, the rats in the front room,
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
is the South Bronx as it actually exists in 1982.
Honey, they pushed that girl in front of the train. Took her to the doctor, sewed her arm on her
Not performed, not imagined, documented. Here is the thing.
head. Say what? It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Grandmaster Flash does not want to record the message. He thinks it is too dark,
Like one great big alleyway, you'll admire all the number book takers.
too heavy, too different from the party records that have defined hip-hop to that point.
With the baseball bat, I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with the touch of
Sugar Hill Records owner Sylvia Robinson pushes for it. Mel Mel writes and delivers it.
wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes.
And when it is released, it reaches number 4 on the Billboard R&B chart without mainstream radio support.
Son said, Daddy, I don't want to go to school cause the teacher's a jerk. He must think I'm a fool. And
Because radio does not know what category it belongs to. Here is what is wild about this.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the
The Message is the record that turns hip-hop from party music into national commentary overnight.
my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going.
Before this record, the dominant cultural perception of rap is that it is entertainment, block party music, dance music, music for fun.
trying not to lose my head.
After this record, that perception is permanently complicated. Here is the gut punch.
Edge, I'm trying not to lose my head.
The Message is not an album. It is a single. But the full album, The Message,
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
collects that single alongside other tracks that demonstrate the Furious Five's full range.
I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley.
And the combination of Grandmaster Flash's DJ technique and Mel Mel's documentary lyricism on this record creates a template
So she can tell her stories to the girls back home. She went to the city and got so did it.
that every socially conscious rap artist who follows them is still working inside.
This TV says she watches too much. It's just not healthy. All my children in the daytime
Chuck D cites it. KRS-One cites it. Nas cites it.
push me, call, close to the edge.
Kendrick Lamar cites it. The entire lineage of hip-hop as social commentary,
I dance to the beat, shuffle my feet, wear a shirt and tie, and run with the crew.
as a form of journalism, as a voice for communities the mainstream press ignores,
Living on a seesaw, don't push me, call, close to the.
runs through a record that a legendary DJ initially does not want to make.
God knows what you'll go through. You'll grow in the ghetto, living second rate, and your eyes will
13 albums. Every single one of them forgotten by the mainstream.
did. Got sent up for an 8-year bid. Now your manhood is took and you're a
Every single one of them foundational. And the one at the top is the one that proves once and for all that this music was never just music.
Yo, Mel, you see that girl, man? Yeah, man. Yo, that sound like cowboy, man.
It was always something more. It was always a way of telling the truth when nobody else would. 13 albums. All of them from a decade most people think they already know.
There's no real way it can be explained. I guess it's the way I smile when
How many had you forgotten? Drop the title below.
And that's when I observed those satin bed sheets. I felt that it was time for me to make
And tell us which 80s albums you want covered next.
It's just me, myself, and I.
Subscribe so you never miss one. Rewind Sonic, where hip-hop history never fades. Thank you for watching.